The Jaguars are the AFC South champions. That's right. You heard it. The Jaguars win the AFC South over the Tennessee Titans. I'll tell you all about it here on Locked On Jaguars Postcast.
You are Locked On Jaguars, your daily Jacksonville Jaguars podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you and welcome to a postcast edition of Locked On Jaguars. I am your host, Tony Wiggins. We're Locked On Jaguars, your daily Jacksonville Jaguars podcast. We're your team every day, and we thank you for making us your first listen. Reminding you that we are free on all platforms. Wherever you get your podcast, make sure you tap in, like, and subscribe to all of our pages on all platforms, because I got a screen from the top of the mountain today. The Jacksonville Jaguars have done for their fans what I have always wanted to see them do for this city and the fans of Duval. A 20-16 victory over the hated Tennessee Titans in a winner-take-all for the AFC South division. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are now your AFC South champs, going from worst to first in the division, picking number one overall, having the worst record in the league. And now, just in 1 year with Doug Peterson at the helm, the Jacksonville Jaguars are now no longer in the purgatory of the football world. I'm so excited I can't keep my words together. I'm just blown away by the patience at which the guys operated. The game took on a Tennessee Titans identity, and I was telling the people I was watching the game with, this game looks and feels like a Tennessee Titans game. And that's not what you want. You want it to come out and basically make sure that your identity was the one that sort of had its fingerprint on the game. And the Jaguars did not do that early. And it was a concern for me because everything seemed to be going their way, the Titans' way. Everything seemed to be, the Titans were getting everything that they wanted. They were wearing the defense out. They had 8.5, 9-minute drive. And it's like, this is not what we want. And Josh Dobbs, he's just being a little bit efficient. And he's going to use his legs. It was all the things that I warned everyone that, could hurt the Jaguars' chances of winning. And there it was, man. In the third quarter, this is still looking like a Tennessee Titans game. Of course, the Jaguars left some points on the field with an early turnover on a trick play, as well as missing a wide open wide receiver. I think it was Zay Jones in the end zone, and Trevor wanted that one back so bad, and they had to settle for 3. But at the end of the day, you saw poise. You saw a calm coolness and a confidence in Trevor from his teammates, as well as Trevor himself. The way it almost as if like they could have panicked and they didn't. And because they did not panic, the Jacksonville Jaguars snatched the victory out of the air, because their defense, and everybody has been talking about the defense so bad, and sometimes rightfully so. But over these last 3 or 4 weeks, they have really gotten it together. Now, the Dallas game in the second half, they played well, but they're starting to get a little bit healthy, even though they don't have DeJuan Smoot. And I'm telling you, man, the defense, Josh Allen, who I've been riding for a long, long time, Josh Allen stepped up tonight and made a play on a 37-yard scoop and score, right? And they had to review it. And I was thinking, like, not another game like this where it's decided by a bang-bang play. Of course, we're talking about Miles Jack wasn't down. And I was thinking, like, please don't overturn it after Josh had scored a touchdown. He ruled it on the field a touchdown. But then I was concerned because Josh Dobbs' hand appeared to be coming forward. And I know that's kind of something that they pay attention to, and sometimes it doesn't quite go your way. They ruled it a touchdown, and that place went crazy. Now, mind you, I'm watching on television, but I can't even call them the faithful 50,000 a day. I got to call them the faithful 68,000, because they went absolutely bonkers. And I got to ask my sons, is that the loudest that you've ever heard that stadium? A lot of people hitting up on the text line real quick here, or the message board. I'll read a couple of them. Somebody says, we smoked the Chargers. Let's rewind. Cassiano says, "What up, Wig? Man, this game was a tough watch." No, it wasn't, man. That's what makes you love it and makes you appreciate it more. Somebody said, "Excuses. We beat the Cowboys." I don't know what you're talking about, man. He says he drank the universe. I believe him. Keith Pugh, my man Keith Pugh says Jaguars played a game that the Titans like to play a slugfest. Glad the defense showed up when we talked about that. Somebody with one of the keys I had yesterday, I said just at some point just be better. And we can get into styles and identity and what the game was like. But when the game was on the line, at some point, you're better, just be better. Now, it wasn't necessarily from the spot where everybody thought that was going to come from. They thought it was just going to be Trevor Lawrence. But Trevor was super efficient and super patient. And you can't downplay how important that part was of this game. The fact that Trevor Lawrence never panicked, never got greedy, never did anything crazy. And guess what? The Jaguars are AFC champion. Now, stand by with me for just 1 second. We're going to make sure we come back with segment 2, and we're going to keep celebrating a little bit. But first, I have to let you know that today's show is sponsored by Tommy John. Man, I'm telling you, if you don't own Tommy John underwear or Tommy John loungewear, you are missing the boat. With over 20 million pairs sold and thousands of 5-star reviews, people love Tommy John. No bad stitches, no discomfort all day. I'm telling you, Tommy John is the way to go. That's why Tommy John doesn't have customers. They have fanatics. Get 20% off your first order at TommyJohn.com/lockedon. 20% off right now at TommyJohn.com/lockedon. See sites for details. I also have to let you know that today's show is brought to you and sponsored by BetterHelp. That's right, man. If you ever had a tough time in life and you've ever been in a situation where you can't figure out what's next, guess what? That's what the professionals are for. And life doesn't come with a manual all the time that allows you to know what to do when you get into these tough situations. But guess what? That's what BetterHelp is there for. It is licensed, real professional help when you need it, and it's all done by phone, just in case you're the type of person who is a little bit shy about these things and doesn't really know what's next. Well, BetterHelp will line you up with counselors, and you can change. You can talk to these licensed therapists 24 hours a day online. It's accessible everywhere, 100% online, and you can keep going through therapists until you find the one that actually works for you. Make sure that you go to BetterHelp, whether or not you've been in therapy personally, talk about it on the broader benefits of what it is that you need to do and get the benefit from the actual BetterHelp professional that you need. BetterHelp is HELP.com/lockedon. That's right, HELP.com/lockedon. AFC South champs. What's going on? AFC South champs. That's right. The Jacksonville Jaguars are the 2022-23 AFC South champ. And I'm telling you, man, the city is going crazy right now. I'm getting phone calls. I was getting phone calls while I was reading just then. And I'm going to tell you, it is out of control. It is absolutely out of control. That city is on fire right now. Not literally, y'all, now. This ain't one of those college towns. But the Jacksonville Jaguars have done it. It feels different than 2017 because 2017, it felt like 1 year. It felt like we had a little bit of that renegade stuff. And plus, in 2017, we did not have a franchise quarterback. We did not have Trevor Lawrence. Love Blake Bortles to death. But until you get that guy, and we've talked about that ad nauseum, that until you get that guy and you get the coach and you get what you saw today was the manifestation of that entire line of thinking that I've always had. That when you get the coach and the quarterback and they develop this bond and this trust, and they're both alphas, but they both depend on each other. So what happened today and what happened tonight was this. They got down. The Jaguars weren't really playing Jaguar football. The game wasn't really going their way. And all of a sudden, they remained patient. They remained patient. You got to think, Trevor Lawrence, this is only his second year in the league. This is Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson has come in, and Trevor Lawrence is playing like a seasoned veteran. But that calmness that they had, that confidence, it's almost as if they were just saying, hey, we need to just make one freaking play. And they absolutely did it. They absolutely did it, Duval. the AFC South Championship. As I said, when Ross Jackson asked me, did I think the Jacksonville Jaguars could win the AFC South? And what did I say? You damn right. Now, pardon y'all if it feels like I'm hyperventilating or overbreathing a little bit. I'm still working on my lungs, but I'm just so excited, man. It is unbelievable. It is an unbelievable thing to think that they went from worst to first. And it feels good that they did it on national TV, because now people really know what this defense is all about. They know what this offense is all about. They'll understand what they'll have a full view now, because they were so intrigued into the game because of the ramifications of the game. But they'll have a full view of exactly what it is that makes the Jacksonville Jaguars special. And maybe it'll prevent some of the, bad talk or the disbelief that the Jaguars have actually changed, that Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence have actually changed this franchise. I'm going to read a couple more. Mr. McFadden, as a Vikings fan, congratulations. Picked y'all as my surprise team. There you go. Gerald says how sweet it is. Lito says it feels great to be a Jag. Bryant says that's probably the best defense we played the rest of the year. Proud of the D when the offense had an off night. I agree with that. And last one is Michael Specs. Good point, Tony. It does feel like the beginning. This feels like the beginning of something big. This is going to last a decade, and everybody's got to get used to it. Everybody's got to get used to it. Make sure you tune in and lock in with me on the Locked On Jaguars podcast and make us your first listen every single day. I'll do another show Monday. We're going to start talking playoffs, and this is all foreign territory for anyone who's covered this team, with the exception of one season. Not used to talking about playoffs, and I'm not used to playoff week, and I'm not used to prepping for what it's like to play in the playoffs. The Jaguars have only done it one time in the last 10, 12 years. So it's going to be a little different, but we'll celebrate a little bit of this more on Monday, and then we'll also take a peek ahead to the Jaguars' opponent, who will know by then who they'll be playing. Until then, you guys take care of each other, like I always say, and we'll see you next time here on Locked On Jaguars.